Hello, everyone. My name is Axel from Thinking Right Center, back with the top 15 corner outfielders list. This is a part of the top 10 position players list, but I am combining the corner outfield because left field is very, very weak. I was going to have to talk about Taylor Ward or something like that, and I figured that was kind of just useless. And most of these guys are pretty interchangeable between left and right field anyway. So I'm making a top 15 list. And this format will also be a little bit different. You're going to see a lot more on my face because getting the video is the most time consuming part of doing these videos. And I just don't have time for it. I'm really trying to get this out before the start of the season. And the start of the season is coming pretty quick. So you're going to see a lot of my face. I'm still going to have some graphics up here with stats and their pictures of the players and try to give you some visual aid here and there. But I just don't have time to get through all of the video, especially for 15 players if I want to make it through to the start of the season. So hopefully you enjoy the video anyway. But without further ado, here's number 15. Nolan Jones of the Colorado Rockies is going to come in at number 15 for me and talk about a season from pretty much nowhere. The Guardians gave up on him, really, and traded him to the Rockies for essentially nothing. And he started the year in AAA. And after murdering AAA for the first month and a half of the season, he came up and played 106 games and hit 20 home runs and stole 20 bags. He is a 3 true outcome guy. He struck out 30% of the time. He walked 12.5% of the time, but he does have an elite barrel rate of 15.7%. He's got an absolute bazooka of an arm in right field and put up 3.7 F4 in 106 games. Like, this guy played amazing. Nobody noticed because he is playing for the Colorado Rockies. And don't come at me with that Coors effect, because he had a higher OPS on the road than he did at home and had an even 10-10 split on his home runs between home and away. At number 14, I'm going to have Christian Yelich of the Brewers. He had a 4.1 F4 and a 122 WRC plus. Christian Yelich is so back. Kinda. I don't know. It was just really cool to see him be good at baseball. It felt like him and Bellinger, right? They had that MVP runs together, and both of them had, their bounce back years this season. And it was just really nice to see Yelich play well. For me, I think he can replicate this season for as long as he really wants to, as long as his body still wants him to. Hopefully the back stays right. Hopefully the knee stays right. I would love to see the ground ball rate get cut down a little bit, but he was still doing that even in his MVP seasons. He's always going to rock high BABIPs because he hits the ball so goddamn hard. And he stole 28 bags last year. So if he stays healthy, I see no reason why he couldn't replicate this season. But staying healthy is kind of the big if there, which is why I have him down here at 14. Coming in at number 13 is Pirates outfielder Bryan Reynolds. In 2021, Bryan Reynolds put up a 6 F4. Since then, he has put up a 2.8 F4 and a 2.3. This will be the last year that I hold out hope that he comes close to that 6 F4 again. I certainly think he has the talent for it. I think he got burned by some bad ball luck last season, had a 110 WRC plus. I think he's closer to a 280 hitter than the 260 hitter we saw last year. I think he can make some improvements on his approach. He's still just 29 years old. The strikeout rate is certainly manageable. I just don't think that he is this bad of a player. And you say bad, at 2.3 F4 is not bad, but to be number 13 on my list, I'm obviously projecting that he has a better year this year. And I just think Bryan Reynolds is going to come back, put up a 4 season. I think he's too talented not to. Number 12 is going to be one of the more boring players on the list, and Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs. I say he's boring, but good baseball players are very rarely boring. He put up a 3.5 F4 in each of the past 2 seasons, a 118 and a 120 WRC plus, respectively. Solid defense, solid power, solid average. The only thing that you could say is, really top of the line is the 14% walk rate, which obviously is fantastic. He's still just 29 years old. My thing is your left fielder is Ian Happ. You're very confident about the production you're getting, and there's a huge value in that. There's not a lot of question marks, so I've got him at 12. Not much more to say. Riley Greene of the Detroit Tigers is coming in at number 11 for me, who, yes, is in a corner outfield now. He has moved out of center field. Looks like they're going to use Parker Meadows primarily in center field. Maybe he'll still get some run in center field here and there, but primarily going to play in a corner, which I actually do like. He's not a bad defender in center field. He might even be average in center field, but this means he'll be a plus defender in the corner. But what we're really looking at is the bat here. He hits the ball so hard. He was a top prospect for a reason. He's going to be just 23 years old. He put up a 2.3 F4 in just 99 games. I think there's potential to have a real breakout season here. I mean, he's going to have to cut down on some of the strikeouts, but just with the natural aging curve and playing more in the MLB, that's just going to work itself out. The hit tool is pretty good. The power is excellent. He had a 119 WRC plus last year. I expect all of these numbers to take a step up, which is why I have him at 11. Coming in at number 10 is a guy that I probably pushed a little bit too high up this list, but it's Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs. Had a really strong year last year. I feel like quietly didn't get the recognition because of guys like Bellinger on that Cubs team, but he had a 3.2 F4 in 138 games, 126 WRC plus. I mean, I honestly think this guy's got the hit tool to hit 300. I think it's underrated, the defense he plays out there in a corner as well. He's pretty fast. I mean, it's the stolen base numbers aren't there, but he's pretty fast. And it's his third season full time over in the States. He's going to be 29 years old. We saw it was Ha-Seong Kim from the Padres, the third year, really kind of exploded, broke out here. I'm kind of banking on the same thing with Suzuki, but if he doesn't break out, he's still just such a safe player. The Cubs have two very safe corner outfielders that I love. However, Suzuki just has that upside for me with the power and the hit tool and just being a better athlete than I guess we thought he would be. Really high on Suzuki this year, which is why I have him at 10. Coming in at number 9 is another player that's been extremely consistent over the past 3 seasons with Randy Arozarena of the Rays. Arozarena, his WAR totals from the past 3 seasons read off like 3.7, 2.7, 3.3. The WRC plus numbers are 127, 124, 126. And he's been at least 20 homers, 20 stolen bases in all 3 of those seasons. It's weird that Randy's not that exciting of a player. He is to watch. He's very exciting, but to dream on, he's not really that exciting. You kind of know what you're going to get with Randy. I do think you'll see a tick up in stolen bases from the 22 he had last season. I believe he's more of a 30 stolen base guy, but he's going to hit 20, 25-ish on the high end home runs. Can hit 250, 260-ish. Get on base at a decent clip, strike out almost a quarter of the time. It's just what you're going to get from Randy, but he is a damn good ball player. I don't love his defense, which is why I kind of had to knock him down a little bit. But consistency, probably, has the upside to be a 4-win, 5-win guy, but he's going to be no less than 3 in my eyes, and that's why I have him at 9. Coming in at number 8 on the corner outfield list, but number 1 in terms of names is Lars Nootbaar of the St. Louis Cardinals. You are probably going to think I'm insane for having him at number 8, especially ahead of Randy Arozarena. I understand, however high you thought I was on Seiya Suzuki. I'm even higher on Lars Nootbaar. He had a 3.2 F4 last season in just 117 games and a 118 WRC plus. But that is not exactly why I am putting him this high. It's because I've been reading things. The only thing that he needs to figure out is how to hit the ball in the air and pull his fly balls, which I understand me saying that in 5 seconds is way easier than actually doing it, but he's working on it. I've been reading he's working on it, and he already walks at a 14% clip each of the past 2 seasons. He's hit 14 home runs in each of the past 2 seasons. However, there's so much more juice there. If he starts hitting for more juice and walking, even at a 12% clip, I'd like to see him swing the bat more because he hits the ball so hard. He stole 11 bags. I think he can steal some more. He's pretty fast. He plays good defense. I think the upside for a 5 or 6 win season is so there, and I'm really buying in on it. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Hopefully I don't curse him. I'm putting Adolis Garcia at number 7 because if you watch the playoffs, I mean, good Lord, this guy pisses on baseballs. And even in the regular season, I had, I watch a lot of baseball. That's why I have a baseball channel. I'd watch some Rangers games because they're exciting. He had 39 home runs, and I remember thinking, God, this guy is so good. I mean, he's just very underrated baseball player. He hit 39 in the regular season, tacked on 8 more in the playoffs. Huge moments in the playoffs. He's a late bloomer. He's already 31 years old, but I see no reason why he couldn't do what he did last year. He made really nice improvements in terms of approach. He walked 10% of the time last year. He's going to strike out at a high clip, the 27%-ish mark. However, this guy's going to be a threat to hit 40 bombs. I think he's at the bare minimum going to hit you 30 if he stays healthy and plays pretty good defense, runs the bases decent as well. You're doing all that with that home run threat. I got to put you pretty high, and that's why I have him at 7. Another boring player, if you would like to call him that, is Brandon Nimmo of the New York Mets. If you are a Mets fan, he certainly is not very boring to you because he is a damn good ball player. He has put up a 5.2 F4 and a 4.3 F4 in each of the past 2 seasons. He has hit 274 in each of the past 2 seasons. He has walked at a 10.5% clip in each of the past 2 seasons. He has a career 133 WRC plus. You kind of know where I'm getting at here. Like it's boring, but it's a really, really good boring. Like he is basically a shoe-in for a 4-win player if he plays the full season, which he has been doing the past 2 seasons. I know he's had some troubles with that in the past, but past 2 years, a pretty long track record of staying healthy. So I got to just say he's going to stay healthy because he is a baller. I love Brandon Nimmo. And I think him making the move from center field to the corner outfield is going to help his defense, which might even help his WAR a little bit if he plays up over there. So I really like Brandon Nimmo. I think, shoe in for a 4-win player. And I got him at number 6. Number 5 is when we reach that new echelon of corner outfielders because we've got Kyle Tucker of the Houston Astros coming in at number 5. Kyle Tucker was 1 home run short of a 30-30 season. And I'm not sure anybody would be shocked if he was in the running for AL MVP when this year is said and done because it is his contract here. He is just 27 years old. He put up a 4.9 WAR with a 140 WRC plus last season, was really in the run for MVP this past season. He's been super consistent with WARs of 4.7, 4.8 in the years prior to this one. He doesn't strike out a lot, 13.5%, 12% walk rate. This guy, hard to find a hole in the game, does everything really well. Had a down season defensively, weirdly. I would expect to see that tick up, especially in a contract year. And like I said, at the end of the day, if Kyle Tucker's your AL MVP, I'm not going to be surprised. Corbin Carroll is coming in at number 4, partly because he is legitimately the best base runner I have ever seen. He put up a 15.8 base running runs, according to Fangraphs. I believe that doubled the next guy in second place. He put up a 6 F4 with a 133 WRC plus. He was also the first rookie ever to hit 25 home runs and steal 50 bags. This is just the player he is. Like he was 22 years old last year. He came up in a brief cameo when he was 21, had a 131 WRC plus. He tore through the minors. This is just the player Corbin Carroll is. You're going to have to get used to him terrorizing your favorite baseball team, unless you're a Diamondbacks fan, for a very long time. The only thing that I have to say that's bad about him is that he has an absolute poop arm in whatever corner he's playing in, which really kind of does hurt him, but hurts him to what? He put up a 6 F4 in his rookie season. I got him at 4. At number 3, we have the generational bat of Juan Soto of the New York Yankees. That hurts to say as a Red Sox fan. It also hurts to say that he looks like he was built in a factory to wear the Yankee uniform. That guy looks swagged out in that thing. But in terms of the hitter that Juan Soto is, I think I can wrap it up pretty easy here. Out of players through their age 24 season with at least 3,000 plate appearances, Juan Soto has the 3rd highest WRC plus. He is only trailing Mike Trout and Mickey Mantle. He has drawn the most walks out of anybody in that group, and he's hit the 7 most homers. He's just 25 years old. Michael Busch, the new Cubs prospect they just traded for, is older than Juan Soto. The only reason he is 3 is because he doesn't really run the bags very well, and he doesn't play great defense. But in terms of a pure bat, it is hard to make an argument for anybody that's better than him. And for that reason, I've got him at 3. It feels so wrong to have him at 3 because he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He is the best bat I've ever watched, but the 2 guys in front of him are freak show talents. It kind of feels like the trendiest MVP pick is Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres, and that's why I have him at number 2. It's been a roller coaster between PEDs and motorcycle accidents and his teammates seemingly hating him. He came back last year, had played in 141 games, had a 4.4 F4, and won a platinum glove in right field. He didn't hit up to standard at all. He had a 113 WRC plus, which, above league average, but dude, this guy was putting up 150s before he got hurt. He had 40 home run season in a season where he got hurt and didn't play every game. He stole 29 bags last year. He is a 5-tool guy. The glove is great. The arm is great. The power, I mean, we're still sleeping on this guy's power. He put up 40 home run seasons. He's fast. He does everything. Absolutely everything. I think he's going to have a 30-30 season. he could have a 40-40 season pretty comfortably. I'm going to put a stupid, dumbass amount of money for him to win the MVP, and I'm sure he'll get in like a motorcycle accident again, or he'll get caught for PEDs. But I love him. I'm going to get yelled at for putting him over Soto, but I'm doing it because I just believe in the talent that much. I think he's going to have like a 140 WRC plus, win a platinum glove in right field again, and he's going to put up like an 8 to 10 F4. I mean, this guy's so talented. He's 25 years old. Come on. I don't even think I need to say who number one is, but I'll say it anyway. It's Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves. He was the 5th player ever to have a 40-40 season. He was the first player to have a 40-50 season, the first player to have a 40-60 season, and the first player ever to have a 40-70 season. It was absolute history. It was electric to watch. It was history. He slashed 337, 416, 596, had a 170 WRC plus, 8.3 F4. If he gave half of a shit about playing defense in right field, he would have an easy 10-win season, but he doesn't. And I'm still ranking him at number one anyway, so I guess maybe he shouldn't. I don't know. Ronald Acuna Jr. can do whatever he wants to. He slashed his K rate down by more than half of what it previously was to 11%. He's still super, super young. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if he's 40-70 again. This guy can do whatever he wants on a baseball field. He's super talented. He was the easiest number one ever. He was best player in baseball last year. I think he'll be the best player in baseball this year again, besides maybe Fernando Tatis. Keep it in mind. Voter fatigue. He's going to win MVP. I'm getting way off track, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is number one for obvious reasons. I don't have to give you guys much of an explanation. And there it is. Those are my top 15 corner outfielders in the MLB by yours truly. I know the format is not as good as the other videos because you're staring at my ugly mug the entire time. I know it's better to watch guys hit homers while I talk in the background. I've got a face for radio. However, I want to get this out there so you guys could beat me senseless with it throughout the entirety of the season when, Nolan Jones strikes out 45% of the time and Tatis Jr., sucks, right? Like I want you guys to tell me when I'm wrong and made a bad pick. So I wanted to get the list out there. Next list is going to be center field. Hopefully I will do the regular format for that one, being it is a shorter list and I'm going to have a little bit more time here coming up, hopefully, but I just want to get this out there. If you watch this far, I'm praying that you liked it and hope you subscribe and leave a like for me. Or if you hated it, like I always say, you can leave a dislike. It doesn't bother me at all. But thank you for watching if you made it this far. Appreciate it, guys.